Hi, welcome to For Flow with Chloe, where today I'm wanting to do a reading because I feel like that one already. Because the sun moved into Aquarius on the 19th, so happy birthday to all you Aquarians for the season that is coming. But also on the 21st of January, we have a direct conjunction between the sun in Aquarius and Pluto in Aquarius. So Pluto has been in Aquarius it did a bit of a visit there around this time last year, and it backslid into Capricorn, and then it went back again very, very recently. And it'll be there literally for like a really long time. In Aquarius, that is. And it's very, very much a generational thing when it moves into Aquarius, like it's a whole generation will be affected by it. And as Pluto is now its planet, it is something that will affect the whole of society. So there's mass societal changes. And as Pluto is a planet about transformational energies, and it can be the dark things that we don't want to look at, but the sun making conjunction with that, both in the same sign, which when it's conjunct it usually is, but that's going to be shining a light extra on those things that we maybe don't want to look at. And so my first card, I want to also mention that we have a new moon coming up in Aquarius. So we'll have Sun, Moon and Pluto in Aquarius. Soon Mercury is going to join as well. There's going to be hella loads going on in Aquarius. So I'm really wanting to pull a reading. First up, we have the High Priestess. She has a little new moon symbol on her head there. And, you know, she is the epitome of intuition. She has her eyes closed. We can still see her eyes through the lids. She's a strong visionary. We also have the moon, the things that are often hidden. And this has got a full moon on this card. And the full moon is often about borrowed light from the sun shining onto things that we don't really want to look at, looking below the surface into the depths. So I feel like there's already, when we go into our intuition, we go into, you know, our subconscious often, and that's where all of these things lie. The things often we bury in layers of our subconscious, the things we don't want to look at. And we have the Seven of Swords, sneaky deaky with beaky, because there's birds all over it, sorry. But, you know, look at this man being sneaky deaky under the moonlight. The light is shining right on him. So things we did not want to look at, what's sneaking around at night, is having a light shone on it. And the crow there at the front is, you know, I don't know how many of you know what a crow sounds like when it squawks, but it is hella loud. Wah! Like you can hear it quite a way off. And it's a very distinctive, loud, distinct cawing sound. Wah, wah! Like it's a real like siren going off. And we have the Five of Swords. The Swords cards are quite an Aquarian energy as well, because they are air sign cards. While Aquarius is the water bearer, it is an air sign card. So it has connections to water, but it is an air sign card. And the sword cards are all communication air sign cards. The Five of Swords is little niggles. It's being henpecked, quite literally there. it's often your, so we can say that we have our ego self, the self that is born to the parents we have, into the place of the world that we live, and taught all of the things that we are taught through school and the people we come across, and blah, 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 blah. The messages that we get, the societal messages that we get that shape us. And in the background, we have this other self. Do you see this guy in the background calling out to us? There's some blood there as well. The bleeding soul that we're ignoring, that's crying out to us. So I feel this is a little bit of like needing to overthrow some of the social messages that have been imprinted upon us, that have been henpecked into our little brains and our programming. Because we need to look at the soul. What are we actually ignoring about our true self? There is this massive band of light that's kind of like the Northern Lights-ish vibes, because we've got frozen landscape behind there. So that's what I'm getting off of it. But these like kind of solar flare-y Northern Light situation going on, again, shining a light on, something we need to look at. Maybe some of us don't want to look at it, and that's, you know, the irritation. We don't want to let go of that. The ego self does not want to look at the soul self. For some of us, that's an easy thing to do. For some of us, it's easy to go here and here. But for some of us, it will be harder. For some of us, we have that stronger programming. Get the eight of wands, sorry. Clear message coming in. It's sudden, it's fiery. It's sudden inspiration as well. It's something undeniable and fast moving. And Aquarius energy is very fast moving. Four of Pentacles, holding on to things. Holding on to our stability. She's not wanting to share what's in that purse. Never really noticed this before as well. But there is, you know, there is a community behind her, and it doesn't look the most rich community. And she's got this nice balcony here, and she's holding on to her purse. She's turning away. So it's not the biggest sharing vibes. And Pentacles are like our resources, our earthly resources. You can view that as money, as love, as food, as all the things, you know, oxygen, as many things. There's the structures that keep us sort of in place. And the Pentacle cards represent all of that kind of earthly stuff on a level. And so there might be something there about holding tight to your resources. This can be like a fear of scarcity, or on the negative side, the very negative side, it can be an unwillingness to share what you've got. But usually there's a kind of like a bit of an insecurity here, and like an acknowledgement of having come from a hardship. I feel like there's something there about lack mentality. Maybe some of us are stuck in a lack mentality. Maybe some of us are fearful about future resources or the resources we have accumulated despite our lack that we may have felt earlier on in life, at any stage in life, and then we've maybe had to work really hard to overcome some of those things. This one. That's a nice one though, after that. Some of us maybe have to really work hard to get to a place of security, whether that's in love, in finances, you know, like whatever it is that gives you security in family dynamics. And so you've had to build and work hard to achieve that security. And so maybe there's a fear of losing it, or maybe you have had it and you fear losing it because of certain changes that are occurring right now. Or maybe you are just one of these people who has had something happen to you at a point that has left you stuck in this state of fear of loss of resources and a fear of going back to a place you have been previously, and a disbelief in your ability to have and keep abundance. Then we get the King of Pentacles. He's humble. He's got it all. He's got his big fat pentacle there. And he's happy and he's humble. And he's got all of his like knowledge as well. He's wise about his pentacle, and he's trusting in his pentacle. He sees it as like, you know, it's got magical sparkles there. And he understands, I feel like he has the wisdom to understand that his abundance is self-perpetuating, and not get too caught up. He's got the wisdom to not get too caught up into like hanging on to things in fear. He has what he needs. He's been able to grow this, and he's in a state of abundance where he can actually enjoy it, and he's not in this fear of losing it. He's humble in it. He's relaxed in it. I'm going to take one more, just one more from this deck. I feel like it's that one. Oh, which is quite Aquarian-y. Air signs generally though. The Page of Swords. All the light bulbs, all the ideas, all the learning, and walking the tightrope. It takes some bravery to walk the tightrope, but it also takes confidence and balance. There's air like whipping around her everywhere, but she's really just walking this tightrope super confidently with her ideas, with her book of knowledge, and she knows she can bridge it to the other side. Pages are I'm going to say this, it's on the card, it's a breath of fresh air. It's and they're bookending each other. So these cards on my little table down here are at either end of a row of each other. So they're like bookends, sandwiching the rest together. And so this inspiration, once we stop ignoring our bleeding soul over here and look at what we need to, it becomes really clear to us what we need to do. And I feel like if we can overcome these states of lack and ground into our earthy kind of trusting abundance, then we can walk the line and start afresh with new ideas and new knowledge. We're like refreshed. There's somewhere new to go. It's very something very progressive, very new and fast moving. And it's communicative as well. Community, it might affect a whole community. And as swords cards are always communication and knowledge, there's something there about that. I'm going to go to this Mind's Eye Tarot deck briefly. I want to know more about the Page of Swords, Queen of Wands. So the Queen of Wands is very self-assured. She's almost got diva energy. Oh, I've got two more come up. I have the Ten of Swords and the King of Cups. Having the confidence and the sass to put an end to something. See all those swords stuck in that poor creature, poor lady. And then we get the King of Cups. Who is very, this is like water signs. We have got a lot of water sign stuff here as well. With like the moon and the High Priestess is very intuitive. All these intuitive cards are very watery. We have mostly, I'd say, got a good balance of everything actually, to be fair. But this goes back almost to the beginning where we're looking at those intuitive cards with the High Priestess and the Moon. I feel like this is having the sass to listen and act on this clear-cut message coming in, this clear inspiration coming in about what you need to do, where you need to go, to end it, to properly end it with those swords cards and properly embrace our intuitive energies, to finally master them and finally live and be truly in touch with our subconscious world and being switched on to the source, like to the universe, to the rhythms of our energies, and where in the cycle we are at and what we truly need for ourselves, not just individually, but how we need to process these things ourselves so that we can be in society and show up in society properly as ourselves. Interesting. And these cards have all slid all over the place. They're a very slidey deck. Other ones are a tarot. I want to do an archetype card from Kim Kranz. So many boxes, like a box in a box in a box. And then the big fat disc cards. Ooh. Oh, I've got two. Yeah. Anima Mundi, which is Latin for like the interconnectedness of everything. And I was literally just saying we need to connect sort of to ourselves, to connect to source, the universe, God, whatever you want to call it, to be able to show up in the collective truly and honestly, truly and not honestly, sorry. But it has all of, you know, the astrological glyphs on it. It's the symbol of a star. It's got the intuition eye there, crystals, all kinds of jazz. Which is that, and then in the centre we just have this sort of meditative person with their head completely lit up, the crown chakra completely lit up, like the understanding that once we truly tune into our true self, our true needs, and we know that we can not be in this like state of fear and lack, because we know we are connected, we know we are one with the source of everything, and then we can show up as our true selves, and actually that will be like a completion, and the everything will source itself, if that makes sense. And then we get the mentor, wisdom, the teacher, the knowledge, the understanding. It's like once you know this, once you know the interconnected of everything and yourself within it, you can have the knowledge, and the mentor, the good mentor, understands this knowledge and communicates it clearly and well. Teachers from a place of this knowledge, they have this spiritual and earthly realm connected knowledge, and so they come from a true place of wisdom, and they teach and communicate the true messages of the higher conscious. They're in touch with their own higher consciousness, and they communicate from that place, which guides others. It's like the owl is the familiar almost of the universe, and knowing that we need to live in true connection to the source and live in this understanding that we are completely connected to everything, and live from that place of truth, so that we can become like the messengers of the source. Bam, it's like powerful. Where have I put the deck? Where have I put the rest of the deck? Hello. There they are. I want one more of these. Tell me more about the mentor message. And then we have the bardo. The bardo is the transition. The bardo is the place betwixt and between, which is where we are now. And the place, the in-between, is where all of the secrets lie. But if we come to understand these, and this place, and we're able to access it through our intuition, then we can get the messages and the knowledge and be the messenger and see, hear, feel clearly and be in true connection with these messages that are coming out of this place of transition. I'm going to take one more card, just one, from the Illustrated Crystallary by Mayatol. That's the guidebook. But I do feel like this is very much this like kind of conjunction between the Sun and Pluto. Pluto is a planet of great wisdom and darkness, and this kind of darker place, but it's a place that understands this interconnectedness of everything. And then the Sun, you know, lights it up and it brings it through as a clear message. One card for the crystals. What energy is going to help people access this intuition? Oh, one's flipped. We get almandine garnet. It says something about bloodlines on there. Ooh, lessons in blood. Very vampiric. But it's got all of the moon cycles on it. It has got the fruiting tree of life upon it. And it has the shield with the garnet on it in a sort of crest. I'm going to read a little bit from the book on it. Almandine knows your storyline didn't start the day you came kicking or screaming into this world. No, it started long ago, but the stars have since shifted their course in the sky, and the dust of that day has hardened into stone. Your beginnings are carried in your blood, in the memory created by each DNA mutation and epigrade tag. Blood is memory, not just your own, but those who came before. You can ride on your own blood back to these distant knowings, but more than that, almandine will help you move and shift that memory, changing what gets carried forward. Sink into yourself, your past's past. Almandine whispers, I have a tale to tell. And I was saying at the beginning as well about Pluto being one of those outer planets that is generational, as in its energy. Where we are now, there's nobody alive that has ever lived through Pluto being in Aquarius before. It was like hundreds and thousands of centuries ago that it would have been here before. So no one on the planet knows exactly. It's a new energy, it's fresh. But the planet Pluto has gone, it goes around all of the 12 zodiac signs, and it does like, you know, a large stint in each sign that represents each sort of generation. And Pluto is a planet about transformation. And we were talking about like, what is it that you need to break down and accept that is in your programming that you need to confront, really, I think is what I was trying to say earlier. With some of us may have like these, you know, ignoring our soul because we're being henpecked by being told what we should be by society or family generations or whatever. And then we had the card of the Four of Pentacles, where I was talking about some of us having come maybe from places of lack and that needing to be transformed. I feel like this is very much a confirmation of that. And that is the reading, guys. Thank you for watching Flo and Chloe. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, all that jazz. And have a beautiful rest of Aquarian season. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.